thank you, Anurag and Naval, for inviting me once again to share my views. I have titled my presentation, Are We Losing Confidence in Branding? And you will soon see why. There is no doubt in my mind that India continues to be the hotspot or favorite economy of the world, but we have to accept the grim reality that India's economy is slowing down. India's GDP for the quarter ending June 2024 was 6.7%, the slowest growth in 5 quarters. Whilst nobody, I think, disagrees that India's future prospects of growth are great, and everybody is bullish on that, we have to recognize that right now, we as a marketing, advertising, media community seem to have a little trouble on our hands. What is even more worrying for people like us is that India's consumption demand is weakening, especially in urban India. Urban demand has been falling 5 quarters in a row. Now, the question to ask, I think, at a forum like this is what can marketers do to stimulate demand for their brands at a time like this? What should people like us in this room do to help advertisers sell more at a time like this? After all, that is why we are hired. Now, looking at brand plans unfolding all around me, I can't help ask this question: if marketers are losing confidence in the time-tested and proven methods of creating sustainable and profitable brands. Why do I say this? I say it because I find that the percent of total advertising budget spent on pure branding or spent on top of funnel advertising versus bottom of the funnel is reducing and reducing day by day. Let's pause to see what is branding. Branding, as I see it, is the process of creating a unique identity for a company or product, including its name, logo, design, and messaging. It involves shaping perceptions, building trust, and differentiating from competitors to establish a lasting emotional connection with customers. Effective branding drives recognition, loyalty, and value. Now, you may ask, why am I recalling all this today, which is generally taught in a marketing class or to students doing their MBA course in marketing? Because I thought when things are not working out, going back to the basics often helps. And how many marketing people today will disagree with the way I have defined branding or just recalled how branding is defined? I'm sure not many. And yet, how many of the things we do today and spend mega bucks on achieve all this for the brand? Over the last 50 years, we have learned the hard way that stories built brands. In building brands, emotional appeal is twice as effective as rational appeal. Multiple cross-media researches have shown that TV ads establish an emotional connect between brand and consumer best, and this substantially helps in establishing a lasting bond between the two. This year, ending in less than 2 months, the world will spend, as Anurag recalled, $1 trillion in advertising. Most estimates indicate that 60 to 70% of that will be on digital. And whilst at one level, advertisers are not wrong in doing this, spending such a large proportion on digital, because they see most consumers spend most of their time on digital devices. It concerns me that digital consumption habits seem to be characterized by what is called snacking, or a quick in and out. And because of this, advertisers also schedule their messages of a few seconds, because the consumption habits of users follow this pattern. But the unfortunate truth is that longer emotional ads we have repeatedly seen of at least 20 to 30 seconds with a hint of at least a storyline, work better and build an emotional connect. So, there are, I'm sure, a lot of digital publishers in this room, and I see there are many digital sponsors who are digital publishers who are sponsors of today's function and who rely on advertising revenue should recognize this, in my view, and if at all it is possible, try to alter their offering to recognize this, to ensure that digital can deliver TV-like impact on the consumer's mind, and therefore good ROI when measured on the brand building metric and not necessarily on bottom of the funnel metrics. Mercifully, connected TV has emerged in India too and is quite rapidly gaining ground. Most estimates indicate that we currently have about 30 million CTV homes, which are rapidly growing. CTV, as I see it, allows us to expose our ads digitally, capitalizing on consumers' digital habits, yet exposing our ads in a TV-like environment which enables brand building and delivers good ROI. For long, I have felt the need for a scientific study, if I may call it, that measures the impact of the same ad in the same duration on a viewer when she sees it on her mobile phone versus when she sees the same ad on television. I was delighted to come across a study when I was preparing for this talk, done in the US by Comcast with the help of a research organization called Media Science, which measured recall and purchase intent in a digital environment on a mobile device, in a Facebook feed or a YouTube pre-roll, versus recall and purchase intent when watched in a traditional TV or CTV in a TV-like environment. Research suggests to us 3 factors of engagement are important for branding and driving outcomes: attention, emotion, and repetition. Coming to attention, ads viewed in the TV environment garnered more visual attention as participants watched 71% of the ad compared to just 30% of the digital mobile ads. In terms of connection, an advertiser's creative message plays a vital role in the success of a campaign and is an invaluable component of memory building in advertising. This is the reason many of us who are older even today recall some of those older ads of Vico and so many other brands in our mind. In terms of repetition, the impact of exposure to ads depends on any prior memory and experiences the viewer has about a brand. New brands, therefore, I believe, can benefit from TV advertising due to the brand and memory building power of the TV environment, with the added benefit that TV advertising, in fact, enhances the ROI on digital advertising. The study established a 3.4x better recall for TV versus digital mobile for first exposure compared to 2.3x for well-known brands. So it strikes me that it makes sense to launch a campaign not simultaneously on TV and digital, but first on TV, followed by digital. This study established substantially higher unaided recall, more than 100% for ads viewed in the TV environment, and about 30% higher for purchase intent. The study also established that when a TV ad preceded a digital mobile ad, results of unaided recall and purchase intent were better than if there were 2 digital exposures. Since consumers' media habits are changing in favor of digital, all the growth in GRPs and average time spent is virtually coming only from digital. To improve the creative impact of our ads on digital, I urge that we must try and replicate on digital some of the concepts that work on TV as shown by the Comcast study. What seems to work in the TV environment is a large screen, lean back, co-viewing, and less distraction. Remember, when I say TV, I include both linear TV and CTV, and conventionally we have been including CTV in our digital ad spends and not in our TV spends. Perhaps we should change that soon enough. There's another aspect that I'd like to touch upon. There is no doubt in my mind that the world is caught up in what is now referred to by some people as short-termism. Everyone wants everything in a hurry, from financial results to increase in market share to increase in awareness. Terms of CMOs we know are shortening. So is it any wonder that more and more marketers either themselves or under pressure from their CFOs or investors, are allocating more and more of their advertising budgets to what we now call performance media, which, in my definition, would include search, e-commerce, activation, promotion, and sampling, what we earlier called BTL. Whilst there is no doubt in my mind that performance media today has a larger role to play in today's marketing plans than earlier, it does seem that marketers under pressure of results are going overboard on it, and in fact, because of this, long-term ROI on advertising investment is coming down, putting the role of marketing and the resources to be allocated to marketing under sharper question. So how does one allocate budgets between branding and performance? Two renowned scientists of recent times tell us how to do this. They recommend 60% be spent on branding, which will help recruit new users and grow the market, and 40% on performance, which will help close the sale with consumers who are already in the market. We have also seen that spending money on branding does drive performance KPIs. We have seen on multiple clients that search volume increases with ads on TV, and more so when spent on big shows like IPL, as we see in the case of one of Madison's clients, Joy Cosmetics. Not just that, during IPL we have seen over the last 3 years, sales of Joy on e-commerce platforms increase substantially. Which leads me to the question, maybe I'm talking about a certain category of brands. Do branding campaigns work even for e-commerce brands? One of the most successful D2C brands has been Mamaearth in India, that today uses a combination of performance and branding in good measure. See the impact on search queries when Mamaearth for the first time introduced branding media to their media mix. Last year end, Honasa, the owners of Mamaearth, launched its IPO very successfully and raised an unbelievable 1,700 crores. On the other hand, what is the fate of so many D2C brands launched without branding campaigns? Many of these D2C brands do not exist today, or some exist as dwarfs. Only a select few who invested in branding have scaled up. When John Donahoe, the eBay CEO, moved to Nike, a key decision he took was to move branding budgets to performance. What happened? Nike sales soon began to degrow. Nike lost the confidence of investors and lost $20 billion in market value. Soon, they had a new CEO. No doubt performance media has an important role to play. And don't misunderstand me on that. But in the first year or in the initial years of a D2C brand. But as the brand scales up or has ambitions of becoming a larger brand, performance, as I see it, begins to seriously underdeliver on ROI. So, friends, to summarize, I told you 5 things. As I see it, branding is essential to scale a business. Branding helps achieve long-term success and delivers sustainable profit for the brand over decades. As the Nike case study tells us, excessive short-termism in marketing is dangerous. Branding is best achieved with an emotional message. A TV-like environment offered by linear TV and CTV today is best at driving emotion. And lastly, as a 60-40 mix in favor of branding seems to be optimal, say the gurus of marketing research. Thank you very much.